Everybody knew what a downwinder was. We were the anti-nuclear capital of the world. I was an autistic kid. My father was a drafted United States Marine, an incredible man. I come from an incredible family. My uncle stood on Omaha Beach on D-Day. I grew up on a huge ranch up by the lake. He was a beautiful, incredible person. He was at Pendleton, combat ready, and they were human guinea pig. They were marched into the trenches in Nevada. They're called atomic veterans. He nearly died at the blast. Between 1951 and 1968, we had 300 open-air tests. Well, as different scientists started to write about this, Wallace Stegner was at the University of Utah at the time. I got to know him. Edward Abbey was hanging around there. I got to know him. I got to know all these environmentalists, and I was an environmentalist, and it was a passionate, intense subject matter there.
All nuclear fighters, all hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck. All nuclear fighters, all hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck. They'll be calling you a radical. Twingate, 311, whatever you want to call it. I call it Pacific genocide, whatever. It's fucking giant conspiratorial across all demographics. All nuclear fighters, all hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck. They'll be calling you a radical. All nuclear fighters, all hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck. Twingate, 311, whatever you want to call it. I call it Pacific genocide, whatever. It's fucking giant conspiratorial across all demographics. They'll be calling you a radical. May God have mercy on all of your souls.
Nuclear power was evolving. We were promised, oh, this can't happen. It will never happen. We cannot have a meltdown.
Well, good morning. Hope you're all curled up nice in your dogma snuggies. It really, you say you're not left, you say you're not right, you say you're not branded, when we know everybody is, and just Death of Scalia just proves it. Every time there's an event, here comes out the right dogma spin, here comes out the left dogma spin. When everybody who's all over online, social media, we're alternative media. I'm Alex Jones, I'm against them. No, you're not, you're far-right dogma. Oh, I'm freaking Young Turk. No, you're not. You're far left dogma. So alternative media, it's the same. It's not even the same as mainstream. It's worse. Every time an event comes out, they show their true colors. I watch it. These so-called activists, so-called people, they don't go into nuance and detail. They go into hard dogma mode. Oh, Obama killed him. The 70. No, it was the other side killed him. Oh, no, this. But nobody will talk about where he was at. And who he was hobnobbing. Unethical? No, illegal. Illegal. John Poindexter? I mean, have we all forgotten who these people are? Where he was at? A United States Supreme Court justice hobnobbing with some of the most powerful businessmen in the world. Conflict of interest? No, illegal. But everybody flies through their dogma. Knee-jerks. That's the sickness of America. America's sick. They're sick. They've lost all 100% connection with their environment, with the ocean. They have no connection with what really matters. The animals, the birds, the environment, their ecology, their biology. You know, it's all about their sociology and their theology. And their sociology and their theology has been totally hijacked 100%. Gone. Now, I did a video yesterday talking about, Sharia. No, not Sharia law. No, not the Bible. No, not the Quran. Not judicial law. Not common law. No, the law of nature. Fukushima! The guy that would fly through, Sandra Day O'Connor's lead clerk, who argued 28 cases, who got through in his appointment to the circuit court in D.C., 97-0. No controversy, no political spin, no freaking dogma, no nothing. He would just fly through. Just name him. Everybody knows that's who it should be. What? He's Hindu? Oh, Obama can't name him, huh? Why can't Obama name him? Twofold. One, Hindus are hardcore anti-nukers. The hardest core. Why do you think the greatest anti-nuclear activists in the world are in India? Full-blown out wars going in India. A lot of people fight back harder in Italy. And let me tell you about Italy. You think you're all freaking great activists, freaking gung-ho. Let me tell you about Italy. Westinghouse GE execs moved in 2012, again for the umpteenth time in Italy, to nuclearize. There's a bunch of old waste kicking there. Well, the Italian waste is here in Utah now. I have videos of it coming here. They got it through here, which they'll bring the Japanese waste here, and I can prove it. Illegally. They don't care. What are laws? Fucking Indian Point. Fuck, pull your heads out of your ass, you dumb fuckers in New York. You're killing yourselves. Fuck, you got a meltdown in slow motion in Indian Point. They're happening all over. Old, worn-out, tired fucking wrecks that are leaking fucking... They just dump shit. Fuck, I know, fuck, I can prove it. So, here we go. The only ones that hired in Italy, when they moved in, look it up. Look it up. Even, I think, The Guardian or fucking one of those fucking you know, what's her name? The Russian girl, her fucking... What's that? The Huffington Post, regurgitation of other people's info, but at least it's there. Reported it. The Italian mob kneecapped them. That's right. What did kneecapped them? Says, get the fuck out. We'll give you hours. Get the fuck out or we will kill all of you. You got it? Oh, yeah, they left. In South Korea. Look it up. Guy blew up a fucking reactor. Look it up in Taiwan. What they're doing to them. 85% of the populace does not want it. They don't give a fuck. Look, you got to get through your head. I want people to very much get this through their head as far as polls go, opinion polls, popular opinion. We need the fucking populace on our side. No, we need the key people on our side. We need the art community. We need the music community. We need the fucking people within power that are going to take power, the new ones that are evolving. We don't need the old activists. The old the old hardcore activists, of course we need them. We love them. We know who those are, but they're old, like Mothers for Peace. And Mothers for Peace made giant mistakes, by the way, and they will admit it. They circled their fucking club and did not embrace fucking new people to come in. It's ours, and that's what they did with these. So RT does that piece on Indian Point. Well, look who they interviewed. Joe and Janet again, the softball team. Well, you know, I like Joe and Janet, don't get me wrong. You know, they're doctors, they're scientists. But the softball team, now, one of Donna Fry's fucking people in San Diego, which, look, I've been battling San Onofre for years since I was a kid. Now, let me tell you, we grew up in the 60s and 70s. Now, come on, we remember, I was an activist then. My father was an activist. Yeah, the Marines, Special Forces Marine, had been nuked. Oh, yeah, the Marines were activists. The Marines were fucking very outspoken anti-nuclear. Fucking it was in vogue. All these pretty songs, fucking the police, fucking, you know, what was Phil Collins, got his finger on the bomb, the land of confusion, all these fuckers writing these crazy train, all these, that's all nuclear. It was all nuclear. Well, they didn't write those fucking songs. They're all frauds. It was in vogue. There's a reason why none of them are fucking social activists and anti-nuclear now, because it's not in vogue. They can't make money off it. They don't give a fuck. And if you think your money's going to save that David Bowie, he had $100 million. Ask Steve Jobs' fucking wife. Look at her. Maybe the richest, I think it's probably unarguable the richest female on earth. Second richest. The richest female on earth is the CEO of Facebook. Sheila. Oh, you mean the woman that had her fucking Goldberg, fucking NSA rat, fucking Obama's fucking Harvard Law, fucking guy getting ready to squill, murdered and Trotsky to the head? Yeah, that's the one. Who's related directly to the Rothschilds? Oh, yeah, that's her. She's only in her 40s, worth many billions. How does she in her 40s on the board of directors of Walt Disney? Canceled the Walt. I mean, these are the fucking rats you're up against. They all trace to Harvard Law. They all trace to fucking Yale. Fucking, they're all the fucking club, which I've known that for fucking years and years and years. The Masons lost the field. Skull and Bones took the field, and they run it out of there. Look, Obama's father was fucking CIA. Look it up. He's at Harvard Law. The polygamist? Yeah, he was a polygamist. Not a Mormon either. Look at Obama's mom, who died young. That abused female by her father, named Stanley. Look who her mom worked for when they moved to fucking Hawaii. They're CIA as it gets. As it gets. Just like, fucking Bill Clinton was just this hillbilly kid that grew up in this old fucking little house, this woman nobody even knew anything about, fucking Blythe in fucking Arkansas. Jefferson become president, hooked up with Hillary. What? I don't think so. Rosemary's Baby. No, Rockefeller's Baby. Fucking, these fuckers find these plants. These fucking attorneys and rats, they're all fucking, it's the same crowd. They've abused the fuck out of you, and the number one abuser is fucking the nuclear industry. Yet the populace is still for the nuclear industry because, so what? Doesn't matter if the populace is for, because the populace is ignorant. What's Carlin's best line? Selfish, ignorant people will elect selfish, ignorant freaking leaders. People like this, America has an epidemic. The world has a hardcore epidemic that is fucking just hammered in. That's happened in the last 30, 40 years. It's called ignorance. Mine does post it, and they think they're smart. So they go to the internet, they learn a little bit, and they're just still bleeding into their dogma. They'll find something that fits their dogma, left, pill, right. When they're both, look, these are globalists, and the next person that fucking tells me New World Order was a plant. Savage is a CIA plant. Alex Jones is a CIA plant. They're still leading you to the slaughter. In nuance, they do good work. Of course, that's how it works. They do good work, but then it's the answer. They lead you to the shoot. Buy your gun, get your fucking gold, fucking, free money, which is going to do you absolutely no good. And the people they're selling you, it's all cost you money. Live in fear, live in fear, live in fear, live in fear, live in fear. Don't speak out, and if you do speak out, you're going to go do something fucking ignorant, stupid like occupy a burger refuge. Now, this is important. I'm going to talk about this today. Lewis Fields died. Now, if you don't know who Lewis Fields was, rodeo is still big here in Utah. And I grew up in a rodeo community. I wasn't a rodeo kid, but I'm friends with a lot of those guys. And Lewis Fields is an icon here. Okay? He lived in central southern Utah. A lot of them moved down there. A lot of my friends moved down there. And you know how beautiful it is down there. But the dogma is out of control down there. And it's big, wide, open, vast, beautiful, incredible spaces. I mean, you're talking, it's so spectacular. It's just every bit as beautiful as here in northern Utah, but maybe more, but nobody lives there. So, and you want to talk a PhD? You want to try me? Now, I want to really get into this about PhDs and how they've hijacked academia. And I'll tie this all to southern Utah. Now, look, we grew up in Utah as hardcore activists, anti-nukers. I meant it when I was. I watched my father die. I watched Annika, the feminine. Annika was so spectacularly beautiful. I mean, this girl was the most beautiful female I ever fucking known in my life. That was my partner. In all ways. And I'm not just talking physically. I'm talking mentally. She was spectacular. She grew up in Ukraine. She died of leukemia at 38. That's why I walked from Wall Street, fucking all the death. People fucking don't know because they've been dumbed down through their ignorance. So the hardcore activists that existed, what happened? What happened in the 80s? Chernobyl happened. What happened? Well, how can that be? That's when the nuclear industry fucking light went on, and there were already PR firms out there, but teeny. That's when the nuclear industry knew they had to get fucking serious with the fucking PR firm. Where did they get the money? The UN. The IAEA is headquartered in Indiana at fucking the UN. There's 8,000 employees at the fucking UN. Now, I was there on the 200th anniversary of Waterloo. It's important. Well over 3,000 of them work for the international. I mean, they pay no taxes. It's a club. They have veto power over the UN. They completely control the UN, which was never chartered at the Atlantic. It's no royals, remember? They hijacked it all through the fucking Cold War fucking here. We still have it hijacked. If you don't believe me, look up Price-Anderson Congressional Act. Just like Indian Point, why don't they close? Because, look, if they were having leaks, any other business, they're fucked. They know that litigation attorneys would line up and bury them because these are attorneys that own it. But there is no liability. They can leak fucking nuclear fire and kill all of New York City and know they're doing it, and they won't go to jail. They won't get fined 5 cents. You can't sue them. That's right. Look it up. It's called Price-Anderson Congressional Act. It's still there. Same in the UN. The UN, so they have all the money. So the PR firms. Now, the PR firms is huge money. There's hundreds and hundreds of them. The biggest one was, the first one that really got in earnest was called West Penn, UCL Medical Center, which, by the way, Woody Allen's buddy, they grew up in Manhattan. So that PR firm, now, of course, we know Edelman's the big player now, who's a keynote speaker at Davos. Edelman, Palco's family are Edelman. Now, I can get into that. I'll write a book about Jeff, one day. What his family did to him is horrible. So they it was his family that tried to fucking tee me up, and Dana, and that's probably who slashed Dana's boat and shot at him, too. Those people are fucking criminals, not Jeff, and Jeff hated them all. Not Jeff's mom, either. She's a wonderful woman. But that's Edelman. They're based in Calgary. He was the keynote speaker in Davos. He and the governor of Fukushima. He passed out fucking Fukushima brew. This is a giant PR. They have all the money. All the money. The biggest cash cow in history, not the United States budget, which is the second biggest. The United States taxpayer budget. They go with hat in hand, and these fuckers just hand it to them. So, with hat in hand, Obama's trying to look up how much he snuck in there this time, go round. But it's even bigger at the UN. So they just feed these PR firms. They control the media. They own the media. They fucking are the media. The mainstream media, the alternative media, they just feed it. They have all the money. So that was a famous book called West 10. Really famous book that was starting to break the back in L.A., the famous leukemia unit. The doctor, he's still alive. He owns the PR firm. They went to him. They made him rich and famous to start fucking rhetoric in a PR firm. You look up, you remember the picture they used to always put up on all the articles that was the green nuclear reactor with butterflies and birds flying out of it? That's their PR firm. Now, these grew up as friends in Manhattan with Woody Allen. Now, I tie this all together. Yeah, fucking baby raper. That creep. So, you think this is a hardcore leukemia unit. And so, wow, he's going to sit and say, no, it doesn't cause it, which is such grotesque, blatant lies. So back to Utah here. My father died of this. He was fucking drafted right on the Nevada test site. I know this in heavy detail. My uncle was stationed at the Pentagon. I'm going to try to get my uncle on the show here soon. He'll be here soon. He lives in Alaska. By the way, Sarah Palin's his neighbor. And I still accuse the old fucker because he's known her for years, and this fucker's a womanizer that's went through so many women, and he's incredible. He's one of the greatest athletes the state's ever seen. Amazing guy, intense as it gets, really hardcore anti-nuclear, retired fucking fighter pilot. Amazing, high brass in the Pentagon. I always still accuse. I know you slept with Sarah Palin. He just laughed. I says, I know you did. And he's like, you don't know, do you, kid? Which, my guess, if I was a betting guy, I would fucking bet he did. But, so, he did a lot of work on my father. That was his brother. He loved his brother. While he was at the Pentagon. This guy knows heavy detail. He's the one that broke a lot of the stuff to me in the early days about the fucking lab writing of the Marines. That's how I know they have the tonsils at fucking Livermore. That's how I know a lot of things that a lot of people don't know is through him. And like I said, take him on. Just like when Obama and Eric Holden, them pussies, said they were going to take on fucking the whistleblower who blew the whistle that Obama and Tianya were killing the Iranian whole families, the Sputniks, and it was Cartwright, the fucking Marine, the 5-star. Take those guys on. Cartwright says, fuck you, try me. So take him on. I'd love to see someone try. Fucker to eat their fucking lunch so fast you wouldn't know what fucking hit them. It's people that raised me. So, they even lab ratted those fucking guys. Hardcore. Put them right at blast. Cut their time. Had field hospitals out there. Cut their time. We're not talking the 60 support crew of the Army, which they all grant said, we got checks. They get sent. No, they didn't. None of the Marines. They destroyed their fucking records in the secret fucking pretend fire at St. Louis. If you go to any of these guys, they'll tell you, now we did find his record. Sorry, Kev. Fuck you. Take your money and stick it in your fucking ass. I don't fuck you and your fucking government checks. I don't want your fucking government checks. Fuck these welfare defense contractors, these welfare queens. These fucking welfare queens like Mike Lee. These Republican fucking far-right fucking welfare queens. Cut food stamps $9. Who fucking military defense contractors pork that we don't use. The nuclear is the biggest welfare queens in the history of mankind. The welfare fucking nuclear industry. The crime family, the crime syndicate who's got hat in, hack in hand. It's about to sell pizza. So I get leukemia. You know, I'm one of these fuckers. I know that the children of the atomic veterans got a set. I know I was fucked up from birth. I was very fucking autistic born. I have a twin sister. The doctor, when I'm coming out, and I come from a fucking infamous family on that side. Really infamous, with an incredible fucking famous doctor who, my mom was famous, so was fucking her mom and dad here in this town. Amazing fucking people. That beautiful, incredible fucking artist. There's another one in there. What? What? Hold on, don't soar up, nurse. There's another baby in there. What? Here come two mutated little fucking babies out. We know boy-girl twins are a mutation by definition. That's so unnatural. We know that it's, and this is my work, that twins that are not the egg splitting, one of the two twins is dying young of cancer, leukemia, via the mutation. It's a mutation, which we know a lot of the atomic veterans had fucking boy-girl twins. They had a lot of fucking things. I was very sick, very unhealthy, fucking underdeveloped lungs, fucked up. Really fucked up. Autistic, underdeveloped lungs, but I overcome it through this fucking good doctor I had. I mean, it was hardcore for me. I became incredibly strong physically because of, I was the runt. That's how you become strong. Very physically strong. I had to. Had no other fucking choice. That or die. So my father dies in the prime of his life, the most healthy fucking person I ever known in my life. He had a lot of seizures. He was in and out of the vet's hospital, for a long time, but he came out of it. Amazing fucking dude. So then Fukushima happens, and I've been fighting the nuclear cartel my whole life. So Fukushima happens, and of course, it's going to give you leukemia, it's going to give you leukemia, you stupid fuckers. Don't you know? First thing, when I know it's going to, the plume's going to hammer us over as fucking, you're going to get leukemia, it's going to fucking genocide the Pacific Ocean, day 1, day 2, day 3, like a broken record over and over to nausea. There's people, you couldn't listen to me every day, all day, because it's beyond fucking over fucking broken record. I understand that, but there's new people come in, and I'm going to hammer away fucking till we're developing an army here of new breed of activists. We're kind of the softball team. In San Diego, they come to me, so I've been fighting in San Diego since I was a little boy. My grandparents' fucking place in San Diego on CB, that's the marker at Old Town. That's my grandpa at the marker at Old Town. My grandpa was the fourth. They've taken that marker down now. I got infamous ties to that fucking place. Back when there was nobody that lived there, Grand Place. But they've ruined it, too. It's the new Michigan. So I've been battling San Diego since I was a little boy. So is my father. So is everything. With the old school activists. The old school activists were not the softball team they have in California now. That, hi, let's form another commission. You got to stop that. These fuckers were radicals. Smart, Edward Abbey fucking radicals. They're still out there, but they've gotten old. Mothers for Peace, they've gotten old. Radicals. Intense. Hardcore. Got it. Fighters. That's who fucking taught me. Avant-garde and Balco is fucking, I can get into Yoko Ono, still in the name Yoko Ono, still in that. I'll do that today. And so, battling these fuckers is old Donna. I heard rumors she passed. I think she's 95. For years, calls me the last San Diegan. Kevin, I love the way you go at him. For years, you go at him. You're old school. You're like the old activists of old. And I'm like, yeah, that's who taught me. She says, I know that. She says, you go at him. You're the last San Diegan. Now, if you don't know what the San Diegan was, that was the old train. They used to go down there. They tore out. Just like the one that goes up through Steinbach country. I've done work there. You can still see the ding, ding, dings. They're still there. I like Marina. It's my favorite little place, Steinbach, as the Del Monte, the old Del Monte. So I fucking fight in the old-fashioned way when we used to win. So what happened? The softball team took over. Now, Helen's not the softball team. Helen's the last of the Mohicans, Caldecott. But Helen Caldecott turned into an institution because it was so in vogue. She had a publicist. And Helen's, a second-hand movie star. And Helen's gotten filthy stinking rich off the anti-nuclear family, big-time rich. Really rich. So the money ruined Helen along the way, and this she'll admit it. Helen will tell you she refused us to use the F word, fucking blackballed me at her own supposing, which is a grand supposing. Dr. Shearer, who's a walking, talking fucking genius, who knows what I know about Teller. He knows more than any fucking I'll ever dream of knowing. He's still a professor at USC. He fucking tears on to Iran. Helen even cuts out on her, live feed because she's put it all online. It's all up there. They even cut out the end when he goes off on Gustav. And she's pissed because she's about her investors. She doesn't even call them. Helen doesn't call them her donators. Her investors. Fukushima scares them. Fukushima scares everybody. Fukushima people shut down in a big way. And you can see why, because my autistic friend in Manhattan, he's a genius. That kid's a genius. I have a lot of fucking the Swartz crowd that I'm involved with in New York that are beyond genius. He says, Kevin, there's actually a magnetic field in the brain when the subject matter is this fucking heavy that magnetic field will actually shut down the brain on people. They know, but they cannot process it. And I says, yeah, I do know. It's called Fukushima. And they get it. They know. So, Southern Utah, here we go. Louis Fields passed. Pancreatic cancer. He wasn't very old. Way too young. I believe he was fucking 59, maybe 60. I knew him. I come from a horse area. My family had a horse. I grew up on that big ranch. They had racehorses. Some of the marquee racehorses in the world. We spent half our life at Del Mar. These guys are horse people. And so Utah's famous for it. And I know all these guys. You got pancreatic cancer. Now I'm going to dive into this right now. Central Southern Utah. So I end up with a stomachache right here on October 11th, just out of the blue, after I've been saying, it's going to give cancer, it's going to give you cancer, it's going to give you cancer. It evolved so quickly, and so I was due to speak at Zuccotti the next day with our group at Occupy. Canceled my flight. In an emergency, I'm a tough guy, really. I am really, because I went through so much pain. I used to, but I don't even have a fucking pain threshold. Everything that I've been through, you think I was born with these scars across my face? It took years of living in this violent face. I've been through a lot of painful situations in my life, physically and emotionally, mentally. But I'm very strong. This was overwhelming. I never had anything like it. Just remember, I've got a broken back, severed tongue, scars across my face. I set my own leg when I broke my own fucking leg. My daughter can contest. I have scars up my arm where I sewed my own arm back together. I've lived a crazy fucking life, but so it was incredible pain. Go to McQuack-D, elevated white count. I'm still in denial. Send me home. The fucking no good lying rat assholes. Abused the fuck out of it because I was uninsured because I fell off a roof a few years ago and broke my back, severed my tongue. 30 feet. No insurance. I was, working on my PhD. I had working for the university in a very strange situation at Weber State because the death of Dr. Cooley, the death of Kyle Madsen, stepping in, taking care of that. A deal was made that I get the first MBA ever from the school to help and to take over because of the tragic mad cow fucking stericycle death of the legendary finance professor Dr. Cooley rising got the MBA. Just a horrible, tragic blow to our community, to everyone. Tragic. So I end up in, long story short, misdiagnosed. I end up at LDS in the bone marrow transplant center. One of the marquee ones in the world, which I didn't even know. My family, I have, really famous doctors in our bloodlines, in our family that, Vincent Hansen saved my life. And I end up there very sick, so I'm in there. So everybody who gets AML leukemia either goes there or Huntsman. And Huntsman will kill you. Huntsman doesn't even rank the top 100. I heard they don't even make the top fucking 300 in leukemia treatment. And our hospital hates them with a passion. They call them the luxury good of, I call them luxury good of death. They'll just basically say, if you want to eat the good food and stay in the hotel, go to Huntsman. And or Scripps. If you want to live, you come there. So Danish philosophy, medicine, and survival rate very high. One of the highest in the world, until Fukushima happened. Well, I got to know a lot of people when I went in there, of course, because a lot of people in our community, now we know that Fukushima hammered us, and we already have heavy contamination all over Utah anyway. We know a lot of people right here in Weber County, Davis County, Box Elder County, right on that area. We know that the plume mapping shows now Fukushima hammered us the hardest. I was working on a roof up in the Birch Creek, and so there's no doubt that's where I got it. You know, I was susceptible anyway, and it was just waiting to trigger, and I triggered it. Well, I triggered on a lot of people, including some of my lifelong friends that I grew up with. I have friends, Gail right down the road, he got sick the same day. He was dead within months. Brain cancer, pancreatic cancer, stomach cancer, leukemia. Lots and lots and lots of us. Big group here. They're all dead, by the way. Every single one of them is dead. Every one of them. The last two that I really knew well just passed away. You know, Terry, who I was lifelong friends with, she was an amazing woman. She just passed. And so young. So when I'm in the hospital, I'm starting to meet marquee athletes, world-class triathletes. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here? I got leukemia, blah, blah, blah. Well, we moved to Moab to train because it got in vogue, Moab, the train place, to hike, bike, and run. Well, I'm like, you do know about the red dust in Moab. You do know it's probably the cancer capital of the world. You know, what do you think killed Edward Abbey? Where do you think he lived? So it's unarguable. It's undebatable. And the government, not the United States, the Utah, it's all about tourism. Utah, because they're the Mormon thesis, and they believe you're going to get your own planet anyway. They will do anything for money. Tourism economy. So I'm in there, and this is not fucking opinion. This is hardcore fact. So the unit at the time only had 33 fucking beds. I mean, that's how intense it is. It's expanded now, double, triple. And so I'm in there, and, you know, a long, long, long time. And I'm like, oh, my God. Fuck everybody in here. Fucking lives in southern Utah. I mean, everybody in here. Southern Utah. And which I know. We know the fucking downwinder thesis is very real. 350 open right there. Right there, they got fucking obliterated. You know, so everybody's like, in passing. Mike Lee, you can look it up. The interview with Mike Lee and I at the fucking Olin Walker Foundation, which was, you know, my teacher's daughter, who's the governor here, you know, by default. So, Mike Lee, he tells me, you know, I just found out, because I prepped him for that interview. I didn't play I Got You because I prepped his staffer in the morning because I didn't want to play I Got You with him. I know for a fact he didn't know what Fukushima was. And I didn't want to play I Got You with the guy. I didn't want to, because I don't play that way. You know, I want to give the fucker a chance. You know, even though his house was in foreclosure, and I know he's a liar, and back to the Supreme Court, because the only reason he got his job, and we don't have, it's just like Hillary getting the election in the superdelegates. Here, one-party politics, and it's all, there's no open primaries in the Republican Party. He was Judge Alito's lead staff. BYU was a gift by Carl. His house was in foreclosure while he was running. No media would freaking report it. He got $600,000 in a bailout, and this is a guy who wants to cut $11 out of food stamps. He got $600,000. And I know he's a fraud, and I'm like, no biggie. I know he's a fraud. I know he went bankrupt several times. I know everything's failure. I told the staffer, but, you know, I'm not going to hold that against him because, you know, Abraham Lincoln went bankrupt while he was in the White House. You know, so I'm not going to hold that against him, and I don't want to play I Got You. And I'm going to first question up, and I know I'm going to be first question up because I know the foundation, and I'll be the first question up. And I don't want to play I Got You with him. I'm going to ask him about Fukushima. He didn't know what the fuck Fukushima, because I talked to her since. He didn't even know what Fukushima was. But he had known, and then I also told him that Wyden had been over there, blah, 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 blah. So he hurried and did some work. She helped him out. And so he says, well, you know, we lived in southern Utah, Kevin, and my father was, just recently found out that my father was a downwinder. His father died very young of cancer, just like Barack Obama's mother. They don't care. And I'm, you know, you can listen to the interview. So I tell everybody what? Okay, so your father was a downwinder, your mother was a downwinder. What, you're not? The half-life of plutonium is 24,500 years. Those fucking there's just as much now, and they cover it up and they lie. They fucking, Utah's had many years to do it, and the government had to do it to manipulate the cancer fucking studies. And how do they manipulate the cancer studies? On cause of death. They fucking changed the OBs. They changed the fucking death certificate fucking process. The death certificate process, when they die now, can list it as something else, which they manipulated that. If the truth was no, southern Utah, no one would ever go there. You know, we're talking tourism from hell. 7 national parks. People move to Moab. So everybody dies of cancer down there. Everybody. Here goes Lewis, another one. They don't know. Lewis knew. I know he knew. You know, he was a rancher down. That was his place. And so when I'm in the hospital, I'm like, fuck, everybody in here, southern Utah. So the demographic of Utah, we have 3 million people here. We went from 1 million to 3 million very rapidly. You know, and so on the Wasatch of Utah, where I live out by the lake, but the Wasatch of Utah, where I live, northern Utah, is fucking 5, 6, 7 million of them. And the rest, you go down there, it's wide open, giant spaces. There's very few people live down there. You know, the Bundy clan and all those guys. By the way, I see that the Bundy asked for a government fucking taxpayer-paid fucking attorney. So, anyway, they're all in there from southern Utah. You know, from Provo South. You know, most of them Moab. And I'm like, my God. So bring it up with every doctor that listen, especially the ones that have been there for a long time. The nurses and the PAs have been out there. Oh yeah, it's just all covered up. Now, doctors want to talk. But through the legislative process over the years, these HIPAA laws and IPA laws, which supposedly you think they're to protect the patient. No, they're to protect the fucking nuclear industry and the chemical industry. So when you get cancer and leukemia, like I got, when you're in there almost dead, the government requires the hospital comes in and you fill out a packet. I filled out the packet. The packet is fucking, it's probably 30, 40 pages deep. And every single question on there is about exposure to nuclear fallout and or chemical. They want to know where you were at, but they know. So the doctors want to talk. They can't. There's laws that prohibit them from fucking giving out data from things. They've hijacked the data. So it's just like the Robin Hood girl in Kazakhstan and Russia who's released, and everybody's like, oh, that's all just about money. You know, these publishing houses that own all the PhDs and all the research papers. Number one, when a PhD, all it does is go in and research other people's PhDs and other research papers and then writes a PhD. It's not a PhD. But that's what we've turned academia into this country. And peer review. So there are hundreds and hundreds, most 99% of PhDs are not PhDs. You know, they're nothing more than a fucking undergraduate fucking, project. They're not even a master of thesis. Because a PhD historically, you have to go into the field, do 3 years of fucking work, hardcore work, and you have to create a new knowledge. That's a PhD, and it used to be awarded by somebody from the fucking public and a state university because they're state taxpayer funded, and the corporations have hijacked the universities. They are fucking not your fucking degrees are worthless as the paper they're fucking written on. They're not fucking PhDs. They're not MBAs. They're fucking nothings because they're corporate whores. And because all people are doing is looking at other people's research papers, well, they charge you $32 a paper to get them. Well, that's only half the story. It's a multi-billion-dollar institution these public houses own. And why do people participate? Because you can put your PhD online. Why do they participate? Which might last 4 or 5 years online is, really, avant-garde, oh yeah, fucking art, improv, performance art like it used to be, 100 years ago before Yoko stole it all. A new knowledge, a new art, oh, fuck yes. Awarded, it used to be a president of a university and or a committee that had participants from the community that awarded that PhD, and they had to award it. It wasn't just, oh, we like you, blah, blah, blah. If you did the work, you criticized, there was no argument, you got PhD. Now these people just regurgitate. So it's half the story is the money. The other half of the story is them controlling the information. So there's plenty of PhDs that get listed, that go into these things. And why do people list them? Because you have to be published in a scientific journal to go anywhere, because everybody wants to be in the club. Oh, I'm going to be at Harvard. I'm going to be a dean of an institution. Well, in order to do that, you have to get published in one of their freaking publications, which they own all the publications. If you don't go through there, you're never getting published. And if you don't get published, you're never going to become the dean of a marquee thing and make all that fucking money and do nothing and sit in your ivory tower. And that is the problem with marine biologists that happened in fucking the Fukushima dynamic. Because that's what fucking all these people are. It's ivory tower. It's a fucking glass house. None of them have done any work, and they got a PhD, which are not PhDs. They are not PhDs. I cannot overstate that. They are not PhDs. What? Because peer review gave you one, told you it was a PhD? So they control all the information. So anybody that's doing any new research or anything that pops up, They know that. Any fucking cancer research, any fucking research that's going out to fucking the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, and all these fucking people, these same corporate whores that own all of it. You know, Rachel Carson broke the fucking door open to Dow Chemical in those lawsuits, you know. They fucking circled the wagons. And they said, we have to hijack the information so they control all the information on all the cancer studies. And they just lie. They make it up. The IAEA, the early studies, just like what's his name wrote his fucking book, oh, Chernobyl killed 1 million people. I mean, the old fucker, if he was 40 years younger, I'd bitch slap him. Chernobyl killed fucking, man, I estimate well north of 50 million people. It's unarguable. Chernobyl's an ongoing fucking thing in the half-life again. The half-life, this stuff doesn't go away. You know, Keller's baby, fucking, you know, the woodpecker guy. You know, all of it, fuck. I mean, these guys lose their way. Fuck, we got Ari Gundershield. Now I see Jans put up a fucking gig with him. The fuck, I mean, these guys are the worst thing that ever happened to us in the anti-nuclear fight. Gunderson, fucking Busby, fucking Janet, Joe, they fucking slaughtered us. When are you people going to wake up and realize they killed us? This false equivalency softball team, these pom-pom girls, these fucking cheerleaders. They're fucking slaughtering us. They did slaughter us. That's who took the field. They said, oh, hi, will you guys please stop this? And they're fucking so soft, so fucking, I mean, these guys just laugh. They're fucking playing softball. The other team's got Bob Gibson on the fucking hill throwing at your head. I know, because I've been involved with it. I know everybody from the NRC. You know, especially their PR firms that they send in. They have an organized PR firm they send in on all these because by law, your statements have to be recorded on all these reactors, which is important. And by the way, the PR firm, well, I shouldn't call them PR firm, the communications firm that runs the hearings, most of them are very anti-nuclear. They're good. They're good. You know, and they're organized. I'm friends with him. He passes the microphone around. He's great. They're anti-nuclear. They know. They know. But and by law, it has to be put into the domain. So what you say is very important when you show up to those hearings. But it's, for instance, San Onofre. For years and years and years and years and years, San Onofre, you get fucking, you know, in the old days, we had the hardcorers there. You know, had them on the ropes. You know, Moonbeamer Brown at Diablo Canyon with us. Now, he signed an executive veto. By the way, before I forget, you know, Moonbeamer Brown signed in a veto to block it. We got the crab numbers in this morning. We've been waiting. My whistleblower called me this morning. The worst crab season in Oregon history. And Moonbeamer Brown has already filed in California and in Oregon. They've already filed for a bailout and under the Emergency Act, in which they're going to get the bailout. So they don't care. They're just posturing for the bailout, which Alaska fisheries have already got the bailout. But when the bailout comes in, the guys who got the boats, these lower tier ones, they're not getting any fucking money. You know who's going to fuck them out all that money. So this is all posturing and grooming for the bailout. And they were forecasting the best crab season in history, the worst in fucking history. There's no fucking crab. So there's no nothing. You know, toxic. And by the way, California is saying do not open. There's plenty of people inside the California legislature and people that in the know, don't reopen it. Jerry Brown's saying we're losing too much money in the economy, and he's already posturing for the bailout with Obama and the nuclear belt. They're all in on the fucking winning team. So these softball activists have slaughtered us. They go on TV, RT. So I'm talking RT. RT knows me. They watch everything I fucking do, and they're really Russian. You know, they know. But who really are they? So when I'm in New York, I'm like, let's go out to Indian Point. You know, come on. You know, by the way, Vice is a bunch of frauds, too. I found that out on this trip, too. Vice is fucking so fucking softball, fake hippie crip, fucking Williamsburg fucking horrible. It's pathetic. They're worse than NBC, CBS. So I don't think you're ever going to get anywhere with any of them, with any of these guys. They're dogma-fed, fucking advertising fucking softball team. So I'm like, come on, let's go out there. They're not about to fucking... They've interviewed me many times. I mean, my voice is all over. The Million Mass March, when you watch Uncut Chronicles, all those fucking incredible, radical fucking things that go on RT, look whose voice is in that through booming through all that. Look who is all over through that. Yeah, that's me. That's me. But no, as soon as I bring up... You know, if I talk about police brutality, social inequality, all as soon as I go down the fucking nuclear fucking hole, they're not about to go to me with Fukushima because they know I really am anti-nuclear. So why does RT go to the people, the false equivalency, because they're false equivalency when it comes to, they're going to report it, but they're going to report it in such a softball way. Look who they put up. Busby. Busby is so pro-nuclear. Busby is fucking nuclear. Gunderson? Arnie Gunderson works for the nuclear industry. It's unarguable. You know, all these people, they fucking, and any old school activist knows this. They'll tell you, Kevin, you're the last San Diego. Look, number one, you have to really be anti-nuclear in your blood. You have to do it not for money, because you're going to get no money. There's no money in fucking being against the money. To be fucking against the money, you get zero money. So who's going to do it? Only the people that believe it all the way in their fucking gut and soul. And there's very, very few of us. Very few of us. And the ones that are afraid. You know, there's some, don't get me wrong, in California, there's a tiny handful that really hate the nuclear industry, but they're afraid, and they're softballers. And the softball team, they laugh at them. They're pom-pom girls. The pom-pom team will never win. The Thomas, for instance, like I said, San Laufin. I've been to those hearings for years. They've been fucking bringing in the fake fucking union workers for years. Joni Ray doesn't have a clue about fucking nuclearism, but, you know, I went down there for that hearing. I says, come on, Joni, let's go over to fucking San Onofre. She didn't know. So we go over there. She's walking. I says, be careful. They'll beat the fuck out of you. They'll knock those cameras out of your fucking hand. They bring in the labor union, and what it is, it's the list of the young, you know, I'm an ex-union guy. So you go on the going to be fucking list. You slowly get into the union. You start out in a labor union or whatever you're apprenticing, and it's the secondary group that you're hoping to get hired. So that's who they make the call to every time it's San Onofre. And it's because there is a labor union that will go to work anytime there's a shutdown or anytime like on the, you know, exchange. But it's so rare, and it's such a tiny few fucking times that people, nuclear reactors are run by computers with a tiny handful of people, and the only people that have any money in the industry are the PR firms. And the fucking Bill Gates, and they're not public utilities that all own these things. These bankers and these fucking, because they know it's just free money, it's incredible cash cow, it's giant, easiest money in the world. And with no liability, no fucking threat of suing, so you can rob, pillage, fucking rape, ask TV Cherry. So, I've been going to those hearings my whole life. There's Ace, there's Gene, you know, there's a few of them that have been, you know, and they're really anti-nuclear, but, you know, they're so soft, and they've been there ever. So, Fukushima happens. You know, I'm the guy that leaked that San Onofre was lying and had the fucking leak while in critical condition. So think about it. You got 3,000 people that view Kevin Blanch with a fucking central line hanging out of his jugular vein in a bone marrow transplant, reporting that they're lying in San Onofre about the fucking leak. And the whistleblowers first came to me, and I could prove all this. So I'm doing videos, we're packing that house, we're packing that house, we're packing that house. You can even ask the urban developer. You know, the guy that toured around with Nano, he walks right, oh my God, it's you. You know, you're the one that woke me up on all this stuff. I mean, that happens to me everywhere and everything by the hundreds of people. Anytime you go to them, they're like, oh my God, it's you, Kevin Blanch. You're the one that woke me up. Oh my God. That was the entire crowd in there. 1,200 fucking people. Fucking 800 of them were probably fucking people that I got there. So Joni Ray go over there, and we go down, we film the union workers. We stay up all night, put it up. I was in very, very, very critical condition at that time. Extremely critical condition. You know, fresh out of the bone marrow transplant units. Sicker than fuck. Platelet count, when I was in California, standing over here, was 32. 32! I mean, one bump, I'm fucking dead. You know, we videotape inside there. We prove all the fucking, put all this out there. We go at them like a fucking wolf. You don't think they're watching PG and NRC? Oh, they all know me. I've been going at it for years. You don't think they're watching? I'm organizing. They know my army. They know our group. We're investigators. We got Shane Russell up there pouring over every fucking document ever won. Yeah, by the way, that's who created, you know, Patrick Penry or whatever it is. That's not his work. Patrick Penry is creation by Shane Russell and Jan Brooks, Miss Milky. They created him. You know, that's all their work. He tried to steal their work from, didn't work, but it's all their work. You know, those two together, well, you know, of course I see Jan thrown in with the fucking Gunderson clown now. Eek. But more power to her, girl. And so, our client, they know we're the real deal. We're an army. So we're saying we're going to hit the beach on D-Day, we're going to hit the beach on D-Day. And by the way, the lawsuit that I'm hammering away at that lawsuit every day that they cannot restart at 70% until we have a public open hearing. And there's a lot of people in California that are hammering that too. And so they're not about to have a public fucking hearing. But they have protections through Price Anderson, they don't. So if they go to court, because that becomes the public domain, they're not about to do that because that exposes all the fraud and they'll go to jail. Well, you would think they'd go to jail. PV and Sherry get caught in collusion. That's the head of the PG&E and the California Public Commission, which they think the royal proven. California raids their house. Who protects them? Moonbeamer Brown. Moonbeamer Brown is protecting them now. Signed a fucking veto on the California legislature that would have been the end of them. So they can commit all the crimes they want because they have all the protections of the nuclear fucking crime family, which is the Obama administration, is the nuclear crime family. So we packed that fucking house. They're scared of us. We're going to hit the beach on D-Day. We got fucking so much, which we do. We got so much fucking dirt on those motherfuckers. They would all go to prison. They know that. They know me. So that morning, you think it's coincidence? We're saying we're going to hit the beach on D-Day. We're going to hit the beach on D-Day. We're going to hit the beach on D-Day. And you can look it up. I hammered away. That was my gig. And that was the day we were going to release all kinds of shit. They throw their fucking hands up. That morning, 5 o'clock in the fucking morning. San Onofre, we're done. We're just going to shut it. But not the hardcore. The hardcore never believed. And by the way, they didn't want to shut it. They were forced to do that because they're afraid of jail. They're afraid of jail. That's the only way you're going to get them an Indian Point, but they're on the verge of Indian Point, and I'll tell you why. Indian Point goes, they've already closed Fitzpatrick. They've already closed San Onofre. So you got fucking Diablo Canyon and Indian Point are fucking port. Oyster Creek's gone down. Those fucking activists in fucking Vermont and Maine, they get it. Or New Hampshire. They threw Yankees so fucking out of there. I know, I'm friends with the fucking, the firms that run. They says, those fuckers up there, they don't fuck around. Because the state has no fucking say. The state legislator in Vermont says, fuck you. They voted for him to go. But it doesn't matter if the state says, because the feds override, just like the nuclear waste. So, but once that happened, they're afraid. The nuclear industry is afraid of those people. So that's why they shut down Yankee, those corrupt motherfuckers. Same thing with, fucking Pilgrim. These fucking old fucking leaking wrecks are murdering you. They're meltdowns in slow motion on the fucking, they termed it in the old days, Chernobyl on the Hudson. How cliche. Let's go fucking make another film festival. But there's some good hardcore fucking activists fighting Indian Point. And the governor, who's always been anti-nuclear, just like Jerry Brown, he finally fucking come out. Look, you got to realize who he's up against. We're talking Wall Street bankers who run New York City. They are New York City. The Yoko Ono fucking nuclear banking fucking dad who hijacked the entire art community. You think about Jean-Michel. He was exactly the opposite of her. She goes into the old movie, she hijacks, that's where her name comes from. Look up her real name. So the most hated person in the world, a multi-fucking billionaire fucking child who moves to New York, everything that fucking Jean-Michel was standing up, same old Samo. She's hijacked the whole fucking movement and killed it. Duchamp's fucking new descending sound staircase. Fucking, people can't get that with my improv on balcony. Avant-garde. You know what? Est-ce que vous avez parlé français? No? Fucking, it's amazing how they hijacked it all. They stole it all. She went in and killed the movement. She killed it. Married the richest fucking famousest activist in the fucking world. John Lennon. Boom, blown away, dead, over, hasta la vista. You think that's all fucking coincidence? No, it's orchestrated. They killed the peace movement. They killed the the anti-nuclear movement by people like Yoko Ono. Which her name's not, do you know where the name comes from? Look it up, exactly what I do. Because the foundation of avant-garde, the French fucking, transgression, that was people that were poor. They didn't have money to get in. So they did those fucking early fucking movies with no money. To fuck for political and social change. Hello, it's improv. Hello, who the fuck is Kevin Blanch? The evolution. Post-ignorance. It's amazing to me how ignorant this fucking populace is. This box feeds them anything they want to hear, and they just go with it. They don't even know about their own local politics, their own local reactors. They don't have a clue about their own nuclear, but they know what's going on in national fucking political theater that the box puts out. Oh, that fucking Obama left. That fucking socialist. That Bernie Sanders socialist. Oh, that fucking Trump's a fucking woman hater. Oh, that fucking Hillary fucking... I mean, the fucking political theater they spin out and put out through that fucking box and through fucking print media. What was... I believe it was Thomas Jefferson. A man who only reads newspaper, you know, look up the rest of the quote. A man who only watches television, 10 seconds side by it, or fucking feeds into the dogma, and the websites are just as bad. Droid Report, all of them! I mean, the YouTube bloggers and vloggers, look what they are! Left pill fucking, green pill fucking, you know, they're not green, they're fucking, you know, in the end, it all fucking shoots you, you know, it gets broader and we're alternative, but it really still funnels you down the fucking same chute of death. So in southern Utah, the hospital, they make up 5% of the population of Utah, maybe less. Yet the fucking hospital's fucking well over half of everybody in there is from there. You live in southern Utah. My niece, that beautiful girl, I love that young lady. I love this kid. She went down to southern Utah. Christy, she's so great. She married this. I mean, these two were they were so in love, such a great couple. They met in their ballroom dancing class. It made me cry even talking about it. This is long before I got cancer. They decided they're going to go to China, teach English for a while, you know, like a lot of young couples do. My brother and his wife, when they were young, went to Sendai, and that's what they did in Japan. That's where a lot of my connections come from, Japan and the universities. They were all Japanese students. I have incredible ties I'd used to in Japan. And to teach English. They come back. He's a little bit sick. You know, they diagnosed him with all this, and he had the exact same thing as me, there's no doubt. 26. Killed him. They were a young couple in love. Dead. Born and raised southern Utah. Then, a year later, his brother, AML leukemia. Bone marrow transplant. I think he's still alive, I hope, knock on wood. Everybody down there dies of cancer. Everybody. So people from Utah, you know, they go from L.A., which, of course, L.A. is no better, Santa Susana. You know, what's that? You know, the meth lake. So they go to, let's move to Moab. Oh, yeah, we saw it on TV. We went on vacation there. Ooh, we love it. Let's go there. Utah, life elevated. Come to the Huntsman Chemical, and stole the styrofoam container, 357 benzene plants from, give you cancer, just like Scripps in Southern California. Scripps, the luxury good of death. Create the cancer, create the fucking death. I protested with fucking Scripps many times. And Lori and I, the last time we protested there, look it up. Kevin Blanch protesting at Scripps in fucking Southern California a couple years ago. Lori and I. Look at the sign right above my head. At Scripps in La Jolla. What does it say? Downwinder Way. Downwinder Way. That's what it says. Now think about that. I want you to think about at Scripps, the sign says Downwinder Way. Why? They create the cancer, then they create fucking cancer institutions. Look up their survival rates. Their survival rates are the lowest in the world. They advertise on television all over. Utah, life elevated. I call it Utah, life excavated. And if you don't know what excavated is the fucking incredible fucking painting by de Kooning, you know, which I believe to be the greatest, one of the greatest. You know, abstract impression. You know, it's like I get a lot of shit, abstract impression versus expressionism. Abstract impressionism. Not my words. Everybody says, oh, you got it wrong. No, I don't have it wrong. Not my words, de Kooning's words. Because you're hyperbole. Just like avant-garde. Est-ce que vous parlez France? Non? Oui? You know, tomato, snub, you know, they knee jerk on me. Because I'm way deeper down that fucking rabbit hole. But the problem is with the rabbit holes you go down to, you go in the rabbit hole and there's a fork in the fucking rabbit hole fucking when you get underground. And it goes right or it goes left. And then it comes right back into the same death chute. The softball team's killing us. I've had it with them. You know, learn your subject matter. Be articulate in those hearings. And we don't fight with violence. We fight with our brains. So they fear us because jail's the only thing they fear. We have to expose the corruption. Robin Hood in fucking Russia, I love you, girl. He's doing the work.
All hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck. All nuclear fighters, all hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck. They'll be calling you a radical. Plumgate 311.